That's done. I'm ready. I'm finished. It's begun. Like it's perfect. It's as good as it's ever gonna get. All right.
Wait.
All right.
Podcast ending or is it starting?
It's
Is
just
it podcasting starting or finishing?
oh. Oh my goodness! All right. I'm done. I'm finished. It's the end. No. Welcome everybody to the Average Roach.
So you see you next week.
Jackson here is. I've been trying to work out I've been trying to work out how to set this all up so that Jackson can do the podcast while he's driving because he's not going to be around tomorrow, and he wants to record multiple episodes.
Yeah, just get some time passing by. I am driving for work reasons, and I'm using handheld. I've got a CarPlay car, which is very helpful. So we can do this. The audio may be a bit shoddy, but I'm willing to risk it for some content.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's better to post something than nothing. Also, how's that airplane you're on?
Okay, well, I can gladly say that this is your captain speaking, and we are cruising at an altitude of 0 meters above the sea level. We are currently on the ground.
It's 0 meters above the. So you're in the sea. You're in the sea water. You said 0 meters above the sea.
Yeah.
That means you're in the water.
It was the ground level.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is why I'm not a pilot, Troy. This is why I'm only driving cars. I'm sticking to the ground, obviously.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking to the air.
Well, you say that, but I'm not sure how you feel after your plane trip, so...
I meant, because right now I'm recording myself just in training with Rocket League while we talk.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Oh, I see.
That's part of what it took not so long to set up, but that's part of what I was setting up.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Right. Should we hop into highlights of the week, or do you want to do some small talk? Or?
I mean, we can do both, but also it's only Tuesday. You know that, right?
I know. We haven't recorded a podcast since a week and a half ago.
Since I left for my holiday.
Troy, we can barely tell that you left because,
Oh, gee, thanks.
We had an episode last Thursday, I hope. Yes?
You hope? What do you mean you
Maybe?
hope?
I can't remember when we released a podcast, but anyway.
Either way.
Right. No, I will have to admit, I have missed hearing us on the radio.
Have you been listening to the podcast?
No, because I've run out of episodes to listen to, so I'm stuck back listening to...
You're like me from 3 weeks ago. Jackson, we need to make more!
Troy, we need to make more! No,
such a narcissist.
I've been stuck listening... Yeah, I've been stuck listening to bloody Mark, Bob and Wade complaining about their lives that they're somewhat enduring through, as opposed to, living hard lives, creating movies and moving homes and stuff, having a child and talking about it every time.
He doesn't talk about his kid at all, you know that, right?
I know.
He brings... I think people must have told him in, their Discord or subreddit or whatever they've got for that thing. People must have said, shut up about your kid, because he started off talking about it, I think it was 2 or 3 episodes, he spoke about it for a little while. And that was, right after his kid was born. And then afterwards, it just turned into, Mandy's good, kid's good. And he's like, I don't really want to talk about my kid. People don't want to hear about that. So people must have complained like you.
Thank you.
But
yes, I like hearing about Wade's dogs.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, Jackson, don't talk about their podcast. Talk about
we're not talking about our podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, so housework, house cleaning, whatever they call it. Thank you guys for listening to our episode so far. It's been awesome seeing the numbers actually being legit.
What do you mean legit?
Well, you never know. Some people might play for a minute and then go, these guys suck, and then, stop
Your
playing.
version of legit is 10 people, I think.
I mean, that's more than I ever would imagine, and I'm thankful for it, so...
You're thankful for I suppose that's true. 10 is better than 1.
Our noble, honourable listeners, I'm so thankful.
Oh my goodness.
I like to thank my parents.
Did you win an Emmy or something?
I was going down that
Thank
line,
you,
I
ladies
guess.
and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Thank you so much for this
I
amazing
like to think
achievement.
yeah.
Man, if only YouTube had like a 10 subscriber play button.
Oh, if only. I mean, they stopped making those buttons now. Apparently, I don't know how long ago they stopped, but yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
don't send them out anymore. Yeah, the 100,000 button they don't give out. I don't think they even give out 1 million anymore.
Oh, wow. That's actually a surprise. I did not
No, it
expect
is.
that.
I know, right? Maybe they ran out of diamond or whatever, or gold, or which
I
is
suppose
weird
that's
to say
true,
though,
yeah.
because it's Google that owns it.
I mean, I can understand back in the day it being 100,000, right?
Yeah,
Like that being a big achievement, but I think it's just there's so many channels now that get to 100,000
yeah,
that in the grand scheme of things, like obviously it's still a huge amount,
yeah,
but there's so many channels that are now at that point, and it's so much easy. It's so easy for people to get that big.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Especially when the algorithm's favoring now, because like the algorithm. I mean, not really say how the algorithm works, but it's like, yeah, it's because you can't keep feeding the bigger channels. It's really unfair. But I guess
they
everyone
still-
gets lost pie at the end of the day.
I don't know what you mean, Jackson. They're still doing that completely.
Yeah, okay. Well,
They're always feeding the bigger channels. I get so many like Mr. Beast videos on my recommended.
really?
Yep.
I get none.
To be fair, this is my recommended for my for my computer that I'm not signed into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm getting
Oh,
weird
yeah,
stuff though.
what?
So I'm getting on my actual
Login.
on my computer where I'm logged in to my Google account and that. I'm getting stuff like in I don't know what you call it. You call it the feed, like or what's the
Yeah,
main page? Homepage, I guess.
Homepage.
Yeah. Yeah, in the homepage, right? They I'm getting a few odd videos. Like I got a video that came up the other day. It was made 9 years ago, and it's a video that it's like a 3-minute video that I've watched multiple times.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It's a really good like it's a little animation with music video with like with Fall Out Boy, like one of Fall Out Boy's songs.
Right. Yep.
But it's weird because I've watched it multiple times, but I've always searched for it whenever I've watched it.
That sounds like. Yeah. Okay. I think I may have heard something. I have heard someone talk about Fallout Boy in an old animation video before.
It's a
Oh,
the one I'm
Is it
referring to
popular?
has 97 million views.
whoa. Okay. Yeah, it's probably the one I'm thinking of.
And the funny thing is, the channel itself isn't even that big.
Was exactly what I do.
Like that one video is the
Yeah.
only
It's one of them one-hit
big
wonders.
video that they've made or even tried to make.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's just it's just some
yeah.
artist, right? Who's got like they did some creepypasta art
Oh, yeah.
of like Slender Man and that versus another creepypasta character. You know Jeff the Killer, don't you?
I've heard of the. Yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a versus video of those two, except I think the person made the art themselves, themselves,
A self. Yep.
and they've sort of like just, it's a little bit like a moving comic versus video.
Okay. Right.
But the moving comic's got like Fall Out Boy playing in the background.
Yep. Oh, nice. Of course. Sounds like Fallout Boy.
Yeah, I think it's Fall Out Boy. The song, how does?
God damn. Oh, was it that song?
No, it's is it called Light It Up or is that just the? That's just
Yeah,
the
that's
lyrics?
Fallout Boy.
Is that Light It Up? Yeah.
Light it up.
Yeah, it's that
that's
song.
Fallout Boy. Yeah.
But it's actually well done because it's got like one of the characters. As it's going light it up, the character
He's on
like
fire?
pulls out a cigarette lighter,
Oh,
and the other characters like had oil or something
That's good.
spewed all over them.
that's great.
And then as it's going, oh, he like throws the cigarette lighter.
I
Light
like that.
it
That's
up,
very good.
up, and then it catches on fire.
Yeah, taking lyrics and making them into actual sense, like light them up. Okay, I'm gonna light a fire. That makes sense, you know. Or turn on the light, light them up, you know. Or light them up, spray them with bullets.
Yeah, well,
It's a bit darker than
there's a few like for example, animes out there where people do AMVs that sort of it works well with the song.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of YouTube, actually, because homepage as well for me, like I get a mixture of videos that of channels I'm subscribed to, but they released months ago or years ago, and it's a mixture of old versus new. So like it'd be channels I've subscribed to having videos from a year ago or two, and then be versing a similar video to that one, but from a channel that I'm not subscribed to.
Yeah.
So like, but it's like every time I see that, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go watch the subscribed video channel because at least because I know what they are or what they're to expect, as opposed to this weird looking new other person that I don't really care for.
Sorry, start again. What do you do?
So I watch. So when there's on my homepage, when there's two equally comparable videos, one from a new channel that I haven't subscribed to, and one from a channel I have subscribed to, I'm more than likely going to click on the video that I have subscribed to.
Oh, I see. But what do you mean comparable?
So, like, if they do, so someone does a video about Pokemon, who's the best shiny, and if people, because that is a content thing that people just do, right? They like comparing. It creates conversation.
Yeah, which is the best Pokemon? Would you smash or pass that Pokemon? Dumbest thing ever.
So, like, if two channels, like, if that comes up on my homepage and there's two videos by different channels, I'm going to watch the one that I've subscribed to, probably.
Of course. But is it the same subject to do with, like...
Yes, sorry, yes.
Like, I don't mean Pokemon as a subject, but I mean, like, like for example, a specific Pokemon.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or, like...
Yeah. And, now, there's another thing, too, that's popped up on my homepage is a YouTube channel called Scammer Payback. I don't know if you've heard of Scammer Payback.
I have,
but
actually.
It's really
I know
thrilling
that
to
one.
watch. It's amazing.
Isn't that the guy who like hacks into the scammers' databases and all that?
Yes. It's ridiculously amazing content.
Yeah, because he full on, and he calls them up and starts messing with their computers and stuff.
Yes, it's so freaking funny too.
Yeah, I know.
Just when the scammers are panicking, it's so funny.
There's a couple of different ones, and he tells them their names and that.
Yes,
he's like, hello, Sahib. I'm watching you
There is
right
no
now.
Sahib here. There is no Sahib. Yes, you are. You're Sahib. No, you're...
No, I am. My name is Frank from Wisconsin.
But yeah, it's quite... Like, it's so good. Like, I'd rather watch Scammer Payback than anything on TV these days. Like, it's just so good.
I don't know.
It's really entertaining as well.
I don't know. I just watched the latest episode, the new episode of Futurama.
Oh yeah, Futurama's coming back.
Yep.
Is it good so far?
I only watched the first episode, but it was good. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was very meta.
You say, okay, right. What was so meta about it?
Well, for example, they made fun of Hulu, which is the company that sort of bought the show, and they had Fulu instead.
Fulu. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's great. Yeah, those guys know how to make funny jokes.
That's true. But and it was all basically, it was a nice little nostalgia as well, because they sort of did the same stuff that they always do.
Yeah.
Like it shows Fry getting upset about something and Bender laughs at him for it.
Good on you, Bender. Very emotionally supportive.
It was a very nice start in the sense that, like, if you're a new fan, you wouldn't really get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that would make sense, yeah.
Like, you'd probably still enjoy it, but it's not something that has, like, a big bang to it. But you're sitting there and you're like, yes, it's back! Oh, yes!
Where have you been? On Fulu. Yes, that's where you've been. Yeah.
And, like, for example, they the start of the episode starts with how the last episode of the series ended.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny because, like, it has a character go, did we just get rebooted?
Oh, what's the crab guy's name? He's not a crab, but he's like...
Zoidberg.
Zoidberg! I just remember every now, occasionally on older episodes, like in the original series or whatever, he does have that noise where he's making, he's leaving stage left. He goes,
oh yeah, I know what you mean.
That was always funny to me. I don't know why.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess it was just something I remember watching, and it just stuck to me because things you watch, and then certain things that affect you that just stick with you.
No, that's fair.
That one will always I remember.
That's fair. I got a friend who was absolutely obsessed with Futurama and Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, that's a great mix.
And he would actually quote that
That's
Zoid,
good.
like he would constantly quote that Zoidberg thing and like do the crab movements and go, like he'd do something to annoy you, and then he'd run off going, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
And even with his hands in the shape of a claw.
Yes, do a little pincer thing. Yeah.
So no, I know that very well. That Zoidberg little thing.
Oh, that's good. That's brilliant. That's great. Yeah. All right. I think what we might do is we'll save our highlights of the week for the next episode.
I mean,
that'll be the bigger one, I think.
I mean, my highlight of the week, technically this week, was making it back from my holiday alive.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to
second
on your holiday a little bit?
Second. I can say a little bit. Basically, I went to Queensland to Airlie Beach, and don't go to Airlie Beach in Queensland. It's boring. There's not much to do unless you plan ahead, and even when you plan ahead, there's you'll get scammed a little bit. Food is supposed to be good, but it was dodgy.
It's called Arlisle. Don't say it's called Arlisle when it's clearly.
Yeah, no, I asked the cab driver. I asked the cab driver how it was pronounced, and he said Airlie. I asked, is it Airlie?
Okay.
And he goes, nah, Airlie. I think I asked if it was Airlie or Arlie, and he went, nah, it's Airlie.
Okay. All right, so that's your little highlight. My highlight is I've seen 2 football players, AFL players, recently. One, a former player who's now in the media, and a current player who plays for Collingwood.
So you saw Brendan.
He's one of their star players.
So you saw Brendan Favola. Did
you
actually see Brendan Favola?
Famous Collingwood player.
No, media. Oh my goodness, Jackson! You said a footballer who's in media now. Radio is considered media. Okay, you know that?
Yeah, this guy. Well, you're not wrong. This guy is media, but he's also TV as well.
Okay. The only media.
Really?
Yeah, because I used to listen to the Fox a little bit.
Fox, yeah. So no, Luke Darcy was the guy I saw. He's on Triple M and Channel 7.
Okay.
And it was kind of funny because I was working in a hotel. They have a function area there, whatever. And I'm assuming he was there for something. And he walked in. He's like asking where the places were. And he's like, "Oh, can I just grab a coffee? I was told there was free coffee here." And the lady was like, yeah, mate, I think so. And so then she led him up this one way. And then I was like, okay. So I was waiting for the maintenance guy. And about 10 minutes later, she comes back with him. Oh, no, I'm meant to go this way. And I was like, okay, make me.
So were you
Do
at
you know
work
where you're
or
going?
something?
And I was like, yeah, I was working, waiting for the maintenance guy. And all this time, to see Luke Darcy going back and forward. Like, okay, something's happening, but anyway. But the other footballer I saw who's the current player, Jordan De Goey, he plays for Collingwood. And this is one of the things I want to touch on for the rest of a bit more of my topic for today.
Yeah.
Is wanker number plates. Do you know what I mean by wanker number plates?
Sorry, it just sounded like you said wanker number plates. I know exactly what wanker number plates
are. That's right. That's exactly what I said.
Oh. Oh, okay. Were you trying to be like subtle about
wanker, like wanker.
Okay.
A little bit.
Because the way you said it was, you said wang her or something.
Oh no, wank.
Yeah. I think you cut as you were talking.
I probably did. So anyway, yeah, wanker number plates. Now the chasers weren't anything. They had a couple of sketches where one of the guys was dressed up as an officer, going around giving fines to people who had cars with stupid number plates.
Yeah.
So like for example, like there was a RX-7 there, and the number plate on it said MSD RX-7, and the guy was like, "I'm giving you a fine for a wanker number plate." And he goes, "What for?" He's like, "Well, what does your number plate say?" He goes, "Mazda RX-7." He goes, "What's your car?" "A Mazda RX-7." He's like, "Yep, wanker number plate."
Oh my goodness.
So Jordan De Goey, it was kind of funny. I was driving on the Monash getting into the city, and I looked at him and I'm like, that looks familiar. He looked back at me. I'm like, okay, he saw me. All right, that's fine. And then he changed lanes, and he was driving kind of aggressively. And then I noticed he was driving a Mercedes-Benz. He His
Oh, my
number
goodness.
plate,
Yeah.
MRC-BNZ, Merc-Benz. What's his car? A Mercedes-Benz.
Oh my goodness. That is a that I
I'm
take
like,
that is a
you're an
wanker
AFL
number
player.
plate. They are wanker number plates.
You have a lot of money. You've got a nice car, yet your number plate is very terrible, very wankerish.
So I just imagine like everyone driving past them is like, no shit, Sherlock. Oh really? I had no idea.
What? Your car's a Mercedes-Benz? No way!
It's funny when you've got a number plate like that, right? But it's a it's a Falcon, or a Ford. Yeah, it's a Ford Falcon, but it says
Yeah.
but it says like Holman or something. Like it's supposed to say Holden.
Well, actually, before we started this, I was leaving the city, and I saw I think it was a Holden, Colorado, and its number plate was GEN, the number 4R8R, and that spells out basically generator.
Oh,
and I'm like, what are you trying to say with you? What are you trying to say? Trying to say you're the generator or something? Like, what? Come on, man.
I don't know. I've seen a couple, like for example, these aren't wanker number plates, but these are just like number plates for like not even clever, but business ones, for example. Like
Okay.
Like you've got a concrete company that works in our area.
Oh yeah.
It's called they're literally called concrete, and it's spelled with a K, and it's got like a gorilla on it, and like concrete is spelled with a K as well. But I think I'm not sure if it's them, but I can imagine there's other companies out there, but I can imagine them having a number plate that says Con 1 and Con 2 and that for different vehicle numbers.
I think I've seen that truck actually. I've seen a few of them.
There's
I didn't notice the numbers.
A couple of like Hertz and all that have specific number plates and all that. Like 24, 23 or something. But I'll tell you the one that I saw that was actually a bit of a wanker one, right? There's one, and this was in your area. This is around the corner from your place. I was driving past the car, and you may have actually seen it before. It said, "I'm a YouTuber," or something.
Oh, really?
Or it said something about them being YouTuber.
You're right.
Or YTube. It said.
Hey, maybe okay. Maybe okay. Yeah, all right. I'll have to look out for that.
Or I can't remember. I don't think it was Love YouTube. I think it was like I'm on YT or something.
Yeah, right.
I think it was YTUBE. But what else can you fit? How would you get that?
Yeah, because I think the maximum character limit is 7. You can have 7 numeral and alphabetical characters on your number plate.
I'm pretty sure it said YTube. So how many is that? TUBE. That's
Y2UBA.
So it's it. So it must have been. I think it was like 1M YTUBE. Is that 7?
Or TBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close enough. That's 6 or 7. Yeah. I think 6. Yeah.
And
so that would work.
And I was driving past. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I will confess, I have had a custom number plate, but it wasn't a wanker one. It was the word country, because I lived in Cleve back in South Australia, and it was a country town.
Yeah.
And so the friends of Portland could call me country because that's where I was from. I was from a country town, and so it just stuck.
So did you purposely get it, or?
Yeah. I thought, why not? Because the car at the time I had was a Hilux, an old Toyota Hilux.
Yeah.
So it kind of suited it. It had a big old antenna, big spotlights on the front. It was very, very country, kind of like a country car, I guess you could say. Very stereotypical country car.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's okay to get custom plates. I personally think it's a bit of a waste. Like,
it is a bit.
My because you get people who like don't even have a job, for example, and they're getting custom plates and stuff like that, and bloody 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds and for their learner car that their parents bought them, and they're getting custom number plates. I'm sitting there going, you could have bought a better car with that cash.
Well, that's another thing too you raised, because like they literally have auctions for number plates that have like 1 to 3 characters.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That like it's actually like quite expensive to have like the number 1 number plate.
Yeah, so dumb though, because like,
But
what do you
it's
get
actually
from that? You spend
it's actually
so
a
much
really
money.
good thing though, because like they do it mostly for charity.
I guess so. I didn't really think of that aspect.
I
Yeah,
believe they do it for charity at least.
yeah, right. Okay. I guess that makes a bit of sense. But yeah, because I think I'm not sure if it's Vic Roads or whatever they actually run that auction, but yeah, the amount of money that gets people bid on for those very unique number plates is insane. Like, yeah, it's all well and
Oh,
good to
it's
put the money
ridiculous. It's
to.
like a couple of
Yeah,
$1 million.
yeah, I know. And then they go put on a Mercedes Benz, and it's like, oh well, that guy's up his ass or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I can kind of understand someone getting it if they like if you're driving a Mercedes Benz, I can understand you having a custom number plate 100%.
Yeah.
I'd still think you're a bit of a wanker,
especially
especially if you've got Mercedes Benz on the number plate.
I know, right? I was like, oh, come on, Geordie, come on. I mean, I get it. You're a current player. You know, you get paid a shitload of money. Just yeah. Come on, man. Get educated. That's the thing with Collingwood players. They get, even though because right now they're like a really good team. They're like top of the ladder this season. But yeah, like some of their players have been a bit rough around the edges, or you know, they've just done dumb shit. Like they do stuff off field, they get caught, or they injure themselves in stupid ways. Like one example, like one of their defenders got their hand bitten by a dog.
Uh-huh.
And he reported it as something else when they found out. And then another guy who had supposedly he had a calf soreness.
Uh-huh.
He was found out to be on the same day as the game. He was a substitute player at a basketball game, and he registered his name as Phil In. So this Collingwood player faked his injury, like said, "Oh, I got sore calves." Same day of the game, he was found playing at a local basketball game, and his name was Phil In. So, yeah, Collingwood players, yeah. I don't know, they're a bit funny, I guess.
That's true. Collingwood players are a bit funny.
Yeah, so there is something up with the Collingwood players. Some of them are all good, though. Like they are all good above the head, but like, yeah, just some of the things they decide to do.
Yeah, true.
So
yeah. I decided to play a twos game while I was talking.
Oh, gee, that must be going out well for you.
It is hard to play the game because it's a bit jerky, but I managed to score.
I was going to say too.
And
yeah, because you've been away on holiday. How's your muscle memory? Has you got any rust left?
It was rust. It was weird because when we played the other day, it was fine, right? But then when we it was great. I was doing things a little bit different. I was like, this is weird, but this is good. But then when we played more recently, like literally 2 days ago, I still felt a bit rusty. Like I felt rusty, if that makes sense. I feel a lot rustier now, but maybe it's got something to do with the warm-ups.
Possibly. Yeah. Because while you've been away on holiday, you've had a chance of playing some new Nintendo Switch games. So I was wondering maybe some first early thoughts on both Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, and Pokemon Scarlet.
I think they're both brilliant.
Well, yeah, that makes me happy to hear. Really happy to hear.
Also, Jackson, you'll love this, right? So my teammate misses a couple of shots and a couple of saves. And then after missing after doing what you usually do and banging into the wall, causing the opponents to get a goal, he then tries to forfeit.
Uh-huh.
And after letting them score another 2 times, one time, I let them score 1 time, he forfeits.
Oh, good on him.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I would have to say Breath of the Wild is quite brilliant.
Yeah. Awesome. What have you been enjoying about it the most so far?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think I've enjoyed the puzzles, basically. Mostly, I think. Doing the little puzzles. Like, at times I'm sitting there going, how do I do this? And then after about a minute, I'm like, oh, that's how it works. Like
Yeah.
there's it gives you a little
The
hint.
answer's right there.
Yeah, it gives you a little hint for for one of them. It says look to the stars, and I'm like looking up in the sky like there's nothing there. But then you look in front of you and there's a bunch of star signs in a pattern,
Right.
and you're supposed to line up the pattern with
Okay.
yeah, you're supposed to line up the pattern with these ball. Basically, you use these these balls. You put them into a little hole that lights up the area or lights up the floor in the pattern that you need to do it in. And then you get given a little orb thing. You get 4 of them. You get a new heart container, etc. Most people know Breath of the Wild, but or how it works. But there was one puzzle, and I spent a good like 5 minutes going, what do I do here? Where do I put this? Right? And I'm like, that's it. There's got to be something. I'm missing something. Like there's got to be something that's something else to it.
Yep.
Because the puzzle was basically like you had to remember the pattern for something else. I'm like, where's the second pattern? I don't see the second pattern that I'm supposed to learn for this one. And so I Googled it because I gave up and was like, there's got to be something here. And it turns out, right, you got to go to one shrine and then remember the pattern at that shrine to... Hold on, I'm just scoring.
Was that made clear to you before you started? Or not really?
No, yeah, it made perfect sense. I was like, oh, okay, because the shrines are like on this mountain peak that has like a road through the middle of it. So it's like one mountain in two.
Okay, cool. That's a fancy little challenge there.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Tears of the Kingdom ones, those challenges get like amplified because of all the new mechanics. So
will.
So you'll be. So how far do you think you are through Breath of the Wild then? How far do you think you've gone?
I'm only like 1/4 the way through technically.
Okay.
Because take a little break from that. Because I've only done there's 4 before you fight. Like you can fight Ganon at any point in time, right?
Yes, you can. You can fight. Yes, correct.
Yeah, I know that. One of the first things I did was go to like the castle and get all this OP gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you got there's four you got to free 4 divine beasts in that, and I've only done 1 of those so far.
Okay. Yes.
To be fair, they're not hard to do, but they just take time.
Yeah, the Blight Ganons at the each event one can be a bit hard too. Like this. So which divine beast did you do first?
I can't remember what it's called. It's got a weird name. I'm just going to say the elephant one. I did the water one, the elephant one.
Yeah, the water one. So you would have faced Water Blight Ganon at the end of the mission, I guess.
Correct. And I died. I died a couple of times to him and then beat him.
Yeah, cool.
But so a couple of things I did right. So I'll just quickly go back to the 2 shrines I did because the thing that I googled is basically you got to go to one shrine, memorize the pattern, then go to the other shrine, memorize that pattern, and then switch the patterns around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you got to remember. You got to go to one, remember what it is, and then when you go to the other one, you take that pattern from the first one you did and put it put it in that order. And then remember, and I'm sitting there going, I looked at it right, and I was like, I googled it, and I'm like, there's another shrine. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna. So I just googled like what the patterns were for both of them, and put it in the first one. Then went to the second one and put it in the second one because I'm sitting there going, I'm not going to go to one shrine, then the other, then back to the other one. So that's one of the only things I've cheated in with the game so far. I'm trying my best not to cheat or spoil stuff for myself.
I mean, that's fair. You've done pretty well though. I feel like.
The first thing I did was basically go get the Hylian shield, which is at the bottom of the castle, and I kind of like sort of knew where to get that, but I didn't want to spoil it for myself, so I sort of like guessed and managed to get there quite easily.
Cool.
And the boss to beat, it was very, very easy to beat. So I did that, but I haven't used the shield yet because it still actually can break.
Yes.
And apparently you can like upgrade it, but once you break it, you can buy another one from some guy, but you won't get the upgraded version again. You can't.
Yeah, Yeah.
and you can only have one at a time.
Yeah, the weapon durability thing is a thing that some Zelda fans are happy for and some aren't so happy about.
Well,
but I think it's a good idea.
I kind of like it because it adds that extra bit of challenge to it.
It does, yeah.
Because the next thing I did was like go back to. I did cheat a little bit, but I was like, I'm only going to do this in this one area because I don't want to have to wander around and try and find the Korok seeds and all that. So I went back to, yes. So I went back to the starting area, the Great Plateau, and just did all the Korok seeds in that area. So I got 20 of them.
Yep.
And then went to the guy who like upgrades your inventory and all that, and did them a couple of times. But once you do it twice, he leaves where you are and goes to.
Oh, that's right, he does too. He changes spots.
Goes to the Great Forest or whatever it's called, and I forget what it's called.
The black one. It's the Forbidden Forest.
Well, you've got Lost Woods there, but it's I forget what the area's called.
Sorry, that's right. Lost Woods is correct.
Lost Woods is but I've forgotten what the whole area is called. It's got a name. Like I think it's just called something Forest. The name of the place is Forest.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hyrule Forest or something.
Yes.
But so after that, I only did it twice. So I had to go to Hyrule Forest, which you can just follow. You follow the river, you can find it, and I've been getting all the towers and that. But first thing I did when I go to Hyrule Forest is I tried a glitch to get the Master Sword.
A glitch? What
yeah,
you do?
You can do a little glitch. So if you put a campfire between you and the Master Sword, right?
Oh,
and you sleep and you hit sleep or you hit rest until morning and just bash the A button, you'll pick up the Master Sword.
Yeah, it's without having to do the bloody heart challenge thing.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything almost. Like there was a glitch to sort of like glitch your character underneath the rock that it's in, so you can grab the sword.
Yeah.
But this takes less than a minute, and you can do it at any point in time. All you need is some firewood and a way to make a fire.
I have seen clips of that glitch, and yeah, it's amazing because like speedrunners love that stuff as well.
Oh yeah. Speedrunning getting the Master Sword.
I bet you that's the type of person who found that glitch was a speedrunner.
Oh, 100%. But here's the funny thing, right? I did that. It took me like 3 attempts to do it. And I did it, and I was like, sweet. So I took a photo of it. I sent it to Christian just to show him that. I'm not sure if I sent it to you. I don't think I did.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, I sent it to Christian and went, well, that was easy. I then reloaded my save and didn't pick it up because I didn't. Yeah. It felt a little bit OP to have a sword that won't break, like basically at the start of the game. Like, what's the point of using any other weapon or even bothering picking up most weapons in the game? When you've got a sword that doesn't break and has like it's one of the best attack. Like its attack is one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to ruin it for myself.
Yeah. Did you know you can actually take clips, little video clips as well as screenshots?
Yeah, I did know about that. I just don't really know how to do it. I haven't really bothered trying to figure it out or look it up because I'm not really interested in recording too much.
No, that's okay because you could have shown the glitch with the video because so when you take a screenshot, you hold down the same button, but you do it for a bit longer, and it'll save a 30-second clip to your library.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also you can send your photos and videos to your smartphone.
Is that Switch in general, or is that the Switch in general?
Yeah,
or is that with,
yeah.
Okay,
so basically,
if you click the screenshot
you go to your live photos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you click the screenshot button, does it record a video?
Yeah. You can for 30 seconds. The last 30 seconds.
Okay, that would have been useful for when I opened the egg that you gave me and all this other stuff.
Yes.
Or hatched, I should say, hatched the egg you gave me in Pokemon.
That's okay.
But the other thing I did with Breath of the Wild, like the other main thing is there's a way for speedrunners. What they do is they can shoot them. They use 2 bombs to like they jump in the air, drop a bomb,
hold themselves.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's called like something. I forget. It's called wind bombing or something.
Yeah, use a time bomber and then
So I was on a tower trying to get to a shrine, and I didn't know that because the shrine was surrounded by weeds, and I didn't know you could burn weeds at the time.
Yeah,
You could just light them on fire. I didn't know that, so I'm at this tower. I'm like, I can't get there from the tower just gliding down. So I spent like a good, probably like half an hour trying, like learning how to wind bomb. And I actually worked out how to do it, and I'm relatively consistent at it. Like I can do it every 4 times at the moment. I can get it right. The only problem was with the wind bomb, it was too strong when I did it with that, and I went flying past the tower and couldn't glide back to it.
Whoops. That's funny.
So what I ended up doing was going to a different area, wind bombing I ended up going up a mountain, wind bombing from there, and then gliding down to this shrine.
That's funny. So many dumb glitches you can do in those games and the mechanics and stuff.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You can see why one game. You can see why one game at the end though.
I can see why people really like all the Switch games. They really are quite fantastic. Like they're well designed. Yeah. Not all well built. Like the Pokemon one could be a little bit better.
Yeah,
it's the game is almost perfect. Like it really is a great. And I was playing it earlier, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And catching Pokemon is actually like more fun than it used to be, especially encountering. It's nice to be able to avoid Pokemon that you don't want to see or don't want to get into contact with, and go for ones that you want. Right. And when you see one that you haven't seen in that area or something, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But
same with the trainers too, because like back in the older games, as soon as you go past a trainer, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna battle you." It's kind of violent. You can just walk past you, and then you don't have to battle.
It's so nice that you have to go up and talk to them.
Yeah.
Because I'm basically like versed barely any trainers in the game and just first wild Pokemon and got my Pokemon's level up.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough.
But I was in the big lake. I forget what it's called, the lake area.
Yes, Lake Casadero or whatever it's called up top left. Yep.
Yeah, and I was just using it to use my like electric Pokemon and my my grass type Pokemon just to fight Gyarados and other water types just to level up all of my Pokemon.
Yeah, Dondozo and Tatsugiri and a few others like but yeah, it's quite a good range of.
But man, the FPS in this game when it comes to water, it does not like running water. It doesn't like running water.
No, it's terrible. Because like Dondozo, the big blue giant fish thing, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to shiny hunt him. And he's in an outbreak. It's so hard to find an outbreak too, like because it's so hard to even get one.
Yeah.
And then because like I couldn't get a shiny on that, which was strange because I usually get shiny like pretty good, but I could not get a shiny Dondozo from that. So I'm gonna reset and try to keep going at it. But yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, every time there should be like 10 of them or so on the spawning on the lake. The game just goes. So slow.
It would. Especially with a Pokemon that big.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But the funny thing is, like, I can live with the NPCs when they're further away, like slowly walking in slow motion or jumping even as they
like
walk.
5 frames.
Yeah, like
frames.
I can because I don't care. I don't care about inbuilt characters. Like it's good to see.
That's fair. Yep.
It's good to see it. Like it brings the game to life a little bit having these characters walk around. But it's just a slight eyesore I can deal with. And then when if it's someone I actually need to talk to, once I get close, they act normal, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing that I can't stand in this game is the dialogue.
Yeah.
There is so much dialogue, so much unnecessary dialogue.
Especially early on.
And the first, when you get to the school, it's like a nice, good 20 minutes of you just clicking A. I was like, I get to the academy. I'm like, all right, so there's going to be a bunch of stuff going on. Then it's like, 6 months later, everyone go out and enjoy the world. Everyone go out and do world things.
Treasure hunt.
Go treasure hunt. And it's like, why didn't you just do that from the start?
No, because they're gonna make the storyline like, okay, you're a student in this region, you know, and then the whole thing of the school is to Go do your own treasure hunt.
The other thing I don't like is the gym challenges. Oh, I can understand. Look,
Oh yeah,
don't get me wrong. It's meant to be like, it's meant to be a Pokemon fan game, but also a kids game. So they're trying to make it more entertaining and fun for kids and keep their attention.
The grass one or the bug one, I can't remember which one it is yet. Basically, pushing a giant pea or something across the field.
Oh, that was easy. I just kept bumping into it and pushing it over the fences. Okay. It took less than a minute. You know what the easiest challenge was for me, and it's the funniest thing in the world, right?
Is it the timing one where you do the exercise?
Nope, that was the worst. I hated that.
Yeah, that's
I had to do that multiple times because I lost against the trainer.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because all my Pokemon were too weak for that gym at the time, like way too weak. They were all like 20 and 30, and this guy throws out a level 45 something.
Yeah. What was the easiest one for you then, Troy? What was the easiest gym challenge?
It was the was it? I can't remember what gym it was. It was the businessman guy.
Oh, yeah, the normal type.
Normal, that's it. It was the normal type. I should have known that because he was meant to be a normal guy.
Yeah, so you have to remember the recipe, the special.
Yeah. Oh, easiest thing. Well, I just googled what it was, typed it in, and I didn't have to verse any trainers.
It is so pathetic how to find it yourself though without knowing though. It's pathetic.
I click on it. Like I know what you have to do. I know you have to like go find these 3 trainers and remember what they tell you or something like that. But I'm just like I don't. I talk to the person. I'm like I can put in all the stuff. Like I can choose a sandwich of this or that, and I go. And I'm like if I just find out what it actually is, it'll probably just let me do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you just click it all in, and you're instantly versing the gym leader, and it's like great.
Yeah, that is pretty nice and easy. I do enjoy that. His Pokemon are funny because he ends up his last Pokemon's a Staraptor.
That's right. Yeah, I found it funny because he throws it out, and I'm like, oh, it's a flying type that'll become a normal type.
Guess I'll use my fighting type for that one.
Oh, I can't remember what I had. I think I just used my grass type.
Well, okay.
I used something that beat them quite easily.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I found it quite funny because most of the gym leaders like they bring out the Pokemon and before they get a chance to do the dialogue, like I've already hit them with a fire type move and they've turned whatever type of Pokemon into a grass type, so it's an instant KO.
If you've got the grass type and you've got Flower Trick, I love it when they you hit him with the Flower Trick. It's always a critical hit, and the trainer's like, "Oh, lucky you got a critical hit."
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, that happened. I laughed a bit. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I find like a little bit like odd. Not even odd. It kind of bothers me a little when your character like throws what is it? The crystal ball. What is it called?
Yeah, the
Terra Sphere or something. Is it Terra Ball?
Terra Ball.
Terra Ball. When your character throws the Terra Ball, right? He just holds it up in the air and then throws it. But whenever that's fine. But whenever an NPC uses a Terra Ball, they like dramatically hold their hand or like or freak out. Like crystals start coming into the ball and they're like pulling away from it.
And then you one-shot it.
Yeah, and then you one-shot it.
It's like, you don't like dance for that? And it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I won't
like,
dance.
You rival the girl for the champion, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She like holds out her hand and like puts her other hand on it like she's going to do a Kamehameha or something. Or like she's going to release an energy burst. And then as she's holding the ball, like the crystals come out and she's got to look away for a second. Like half close an eye, like there's like a sandstorm is hit her.
Oh, yes, I think another one you're talking about actually. I forget which one it is. There's a because like in Gen 8 Sword and Shield, I believe there's like one of the gym leaders actually kisses their Pokeball.
Yeah.
So
sounds about right. I think that happens in multiple games, Jackson. There's got to be multiple.
Like, this is getting a bit.
100%, it's happened before. But the other thing...
It is kind of funny, though. Like, they do all the dancing, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, truth.
So, go on.
The other thing that last thing that or the only thing that's bothering me, and this is the last thing. Other than that, the game is pretty much it's great. Like the exploration is great. Being able to get TMs, movesets is great. It's a little less challenging considering the fact that every Pokemon always gets XP, but that's fine because it evens out because they know you just want to keep going and it allows you to train more Pokemon to a higher level.
At a time, correct, and you can evolve and complete the faster as well.
Exactly. But the last thing is going back to the academy.
Yeah, it is annoying. Yeah.
I did this because you got to do like the classes and that.
Yes.
I did like the biology classes. I did all of them because I wanted this one. There's this one normal type move which is false slash.
False swipe.
False swipe. That's it. Which and I'm like that's a I need that. I need that because I've got really strong Pokemon and they just take out all the weaker ones. Yeah. I need a move that leaves them with at least 1 HP. To make it super easy to catch. And it turns out you only have to do the first. You only have to do the first lesson, right? Correct. I did the entire first like semester thing or midterm thing, just because I was I want to get this out of the way. You probably get something good out of it. I then didn't save, so I had to go back and redo it. And I decided I'm going to redo this one. Even though I went and did the first lesson, and then got the move, and then the next day, like literal day, I came back and was like, I'll just get all the biology one out of the way, and so I did that. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, there's like 7 more of these subjects that you have to sit through, and some of it would be useful information. Like it mentions the Masudo method. For getting shiny. So it mentions like 2 different Pokemon with 2 different languages. So I was like, oh, okay. So it explains that in the game.
Yep.
But it's just annoying how
which is actually kind of nice. They normally don't.
That's true.
Any game before, they never mentioned that Masuda method is a thing. Like they never. I don't think they have had any dialogue of NPCs actually mentioned Masuda.
Was it actually? Was it a
Masuda method was a thing in Gen 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gen 4 was when it came in, or Gen 3 actually, maybe. Okay. But yeah, no, I think it was the Gen 4 introduced thing, and yeah, like I said, they never really acknowledged it in the game. Like there was no NPC that mentioned it. But,
okay, so did they? Was it introduced in the game, or like how did people find out about it?
I think literally data miners, honestly.
Oh, really?
Or something.
So people actually got into the source code and had a look at it.
I would love to know how they did find that out.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
Either that or Nintendo actually just told us blatantly. I don't know. I wish I knew now because that's a really good question that you raised.
The game doesn't mention it as the Masudo method. It just says if you have 2 Pokemon of the same breeding type who are with 2 different languages or from 2 different languages, chances of getting a shiny are higher and all that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they are. And then because you can use the sandwiches to make egg power sandwiches.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
And you get more chances of exporting as well.
Oh, that's the other thing. The sandwiches. Oh my goodness. I like the idea. I like the idea of the picnic. I like the idea of the sandwiches. But when you're making one, it's just the most frustrating thing ever.
Mundane thing.
It's the most mundane, but it's also frustrating. Like, first time I did it, I drop a pickle because you're supposed to hold the button. But then another time I was making one, and you stack lettuce, and it literally stacks like real lettuce.
Yes.
So it's
like physics are amazing.
The physics. No, they're bad. The physics are bad because I'm sitting there going, if I was making this sandwich myself, I know. I'd push the lettuce down. That was a bit loud. I'd push it down. Then I'd carefully put the tomatoes on top. I wouldn't just lift my hover. Can you imagine? Next time you come over, I'm going to make you a sandwich, Jackson. I'm going to buy a sub. I'm going to buy a sub sandwich, and make you an actual proper sub sandwich. But I'm going to do it the way they do it in Pokemon. So I'm gonna friggin' what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say claw, but I'm going to specifically claw machine claw it. So I'm gonna pick up a tomato with
Okay.
like my whole with my tips of my fingers, and then I'm gonna
I
let
can't
go,
understand
or maybe I'll do it like
that.
oh, I've only
That's because
I've only done it
there's
like
been a lot of,
twice.
there's a lot of research done to like how to make easier sandwiches for certain powers.
Yeah,
Like there's a whole website now made to like you can do your own sandwich simulator, and like you can find what minimal ingredients you can use to make like a level 2 sandwich or something.
oh, good, because like
Yeah.
you said you can buy recipes in the game, but I've not like you
can
talk to
unlock
this
them.
fat guy at the sandwich place, and he goes, "I've given you a recipe," and
Yes.
it's like, "Great, what is it? I didn't see what it was. Do I have to
Yeah.
make a sandwich to find
No,
out?"
you have to find out. You have to find out in your recipe book when you go to make a sandwich.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know that's the problem I find too. Because like, I think it might say there's like a little tab next to the recipe that says new, but I don't remember that being the case.
Because yeah, I worked out the basically free. I forget what it's called, where you just put whatever you feel like on
Yeah.
free mode or for like
Yeah, oh, creative mode.
creative mode. Yeah, I was gonna say free ball mode. You free ball
No,
it.
a bit different, but yes, keep going.
Yeah, and I just so I tried that out and threw a bunch of stuff on and made something, and I was like, all right, great. This is how am I supposed to know what gives me what? You're supposed to work it out, are you?
Yeah, there's some people have done researches, but yeah, like I said, there's a sandwich simulator website you can check.
See,
but-
I'd prefer it if the game saved what like when you use an ingredient, what it does or what
Oh,
it
yeah, that
does
would
in
be
that
good, yeah.
sandwich.
Look, it says a tasty original.
Yeah, that's all it says. Oh well, yes, it is an original. I did make it myself, just like every other sandwich I've made in this game.
That's right, exactly that. Because like in Sword Shield, you can make curry as well. That's the picnics, you can make curries, and they actually did. So when you just put it in random ingredients, it actually did come up as a curry deck. It's like that was like, oh, you made such and such curry, and then we're saving it to your recipes or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
So they did do that in the previous game, which is kind of funny. But yeah, this one they just kind of cut back and couldn't be bothered. But actually, another two I remembered, when you go back to your mother, like in the home you start off with,
Yeah.
you go back to your mother, she'll actually give you more recipes as well.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah, not many, but she does give you some. So
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes things a lot easier. I might try that. But yeah. So, but other than that, I think the game is brilliant. But it's also brilliant for people like me specifically who haven't played a Pokemon game in years.
yeah,
Because you can.
yeah, it's probably a good game to come back to after some people like you.
Well, it's exactly like there's no difference between it and for me personally, the game is very similar to playing a 3D game or 3D version or a well, it feels like playing Pokemon Colosseum, but open world. But it feels more like playing a combination of Pokemon Colosseum and
2D.
Pokemon Emerald.
Yeah,
Is it Colosseum? What's the one with
Yeah.
with where you catch the Shadow Pokemon? Is that Colosseum?
yeah, it's correct. Yeah,
Yeah, it feels like playing Pokemon, like I said, Colosseum, but Emerald and Pokemon Emerald combined.
yeah,
And then they've just made it open world, which makes it much easier much nicer to travel around. Which makes it makes sense because like open world is what all games are doing nowadays, but it just kind of makes sense for a Pokemon game. You there?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, which is kind of yeah, I'm here. This because I'm probably in a bad area.
Okay.
Yeah, because like that's like I said about Sword Shield and Pokemon Legends Arceus. Those games were all kind of like a trial thing for how an open world game would look like for Pokemon. So,
Yeah, well,
it had been building up to this point of having open worldness, but yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm glad I got this one over Pokemon Pokemon Let's Go or whatever it is.
yeah. Definitely no. Let's Go is a waste of money.
Really? Because
I mean, it's very
I think
niche
I
in a
watched
way that
I watched you or
could-
Christian play it,
Go on.
right? I think it was you, and it
Yeah.
just looked like Pokemon Go,
Probably. It was
but it was
yeah,
just
console version
yeah, console version.
and Gen 1 only, which sucked.
Oh, really? Was it only Gen 1? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would
Yep,
that would kind of suck, especially like it'd be
Yeah,
good it'd be good for kids because they wouldn't have grown up with Gen 1 games. They would have had some Gen 1 Pokemon, but not all of them.
Yeah, which is why I think like Pokemon Company and Nintendo, they have a lot of reliance on Gen 1 because obviously, yeah, it's the first gen, original generation of Pokemon, but like all the top like 5 favorited Pokemon are like, all from Gen 1 basically.
Yeah, like Charizard, Pikachu.
Yeah, Eevee.
Yeah, Eevee, true.
Just to name a few. Ditto maybe. Actually, I don't know if Ditto would be popular ones, but yeah.
Oh, maybe.
There's quite a few. Oh, Mewtwo's pretty damn popular too, damn it.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, they've tried to make those ones more popular.
Yeah, I guess so. But
you know what Pokemon I prefer, like out of starter generation besides over Charizard?
What's that?
Blaziken.
Yeah, Blaziken's good. Blaziken started off a certain dual type, which eventually just caught on to too many other starters. So,
yeah,
like, it was firefighting, then Mankey was firefighting, and then Emperor was firefighting.
Yeah, I'm not liking the whole dual types thing. Like, it's good for like I don't know, it's 50-50 because they've always had it. But like for example, you have Shelter and Cloyster, which are
ice water,
right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's a clam, and it's a water type, and it's probably found, it's found all over the sea, including in cold places.
Exactly.
That makes sense. If was Charizard made of fire flying or not?
Yes, he is fire flying in the end.
Again, because in the original games he was just fire. But again, it would make sense. He has wings. He's meant to be like a dragon.
Well, that's the thing, though, because like people will be like, shouldn't he be fire dragon? Because like he looks like a dragon.
That's true, actually. He should be fire dragon.
So, I mean, we can't win like this.
But
a lot of other.
He can't be all. That. Yeah, I was going to say he can't be all 3 though. So.
No, he can't be 3 typings. Well, because one of his mega evolutions, he becomes a fire dragon.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
But what was it? When you get into this game and you've got this, I forget what the bird is called, but it's like a flying bird type.
Bombardier.
Is that the one that's electric as well?
Everyone's favorite stupid dark flying bird. He drops rocks on your head.
No, I was talking about it's a flying electric type.
Oh, Kilotral. Kilotral.
I'm not sure. Probably, yeah. But again, like when you get a flying electric type, I'm like, okay, that I guess you can do that, but it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Poison grass types make sense, but I finished versing the rival for because I made my Pokemon a bit stronger and then challenged him again. I was still way under level, but it's more fun that way. And I versed the rival for the what is it called? The guy who cooks all the sandwiches for you. I forget what the.
Oh yeah. Oh mate, yes, I forget his name too, but yes.
What's the road called? Road to it's.
Victory
Road or something.
Voter Victory Road. Sorry, yes, Voter Victory Road.
Is it Victory Road or is it something else? Because you got Champion Road, then you got the other the one where you fight all.
Are you talking about the ride for
the guy.
The gym badge stuff?
No, the tiny.
I forget his name. Yeah, the tiny guy. I forget his name.
It doesn't matter. But I finished the whatever road it's called. Like just
road to top. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Victory Road. Although Victory Road sounds like it's Victory Road's the champion one. Yeah. But I finished his storyline thing, and I was hoping I could go into the crater after that. I was like, if I beat him, he's gonna go with me to the crater. Sweet. Because I tried to get into the crater the other day. And I got in, and then I got sent back out. So.
Okay.
And then
I get to complete the gyms first, don't you?
Yeah, it won't let you. Even when I go to the little facility that it looks like it lowers you in.
Yes.
Because there's a fence blocking you, but you just climb over the mountain. But then when you try to go into the building, it turns you around and goes, "You're not ready for this."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
so I was going to ask you earlier, have you been to Area 0 yet? But it sounds like you haven't yet.
No. I still got to do like 3 or 4 people, like gym and bosses and all that.
Yeah.
But it It's I versed the rival, and what was it I was going to say? Yeah, that's right. That's right. He kept beating me with this grass fire type
Oh,
Pokemon.
green.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Green.
bloody the
Oh,
double-headed thing.
Scovillian. Yeah.
Yeah, or at least I think it was a grass type. It must have been because it looked like a grass
grass
type, but it had the
fire.
yeah.
Grass
And I'm sitting there going, grass and fire.
Yeah.
But I can understand flying and electric. That's fine. Again, it's an electrical bird. That's fine. That makes sense. I can understand like poison grass. I can understand ice and water. But what is this grass and fire bull?
Do you know why?
Well,
man, know why?
While you're at it, can you give me an ice and bloody? I don't know. I can't think of one. Ice and fire. While you're at it, I think there is an ice and fire Pokemon. Actually, I remember.
No, there's a water fire. There's water fire.
Can I get a ghost psychic? Yeah, thanks. And you know the worst part? I know you can get a psychic ghost because I was looking up what hurts ghost types.
Yeah.
Because I know, and I'm like, what else hurts ghost types? And I'm looking up, and I found right. Get this, so ghost type moves, I don't just double the damage on a psychic ghost type; they quadruple it.
They 4 times.
4 times. If you have a psychic ghost Pokemon, the damage done by a ghost type move, which doesn't make sense to me, is double. And no, quadruple.
Yes.
It's double. And I'm sitting there going, that doesn't make sense. If it's a ghost type, wouldn't ghost type moves not work on it? Like, if it's psychic and ghost, you'd think a ghost type move would just kind of damage it the normal amount. Because they both counteract each other. But no, apparently it does more. So ghost types are now weak to ghost types.
Yes, it is. Strangely, it's like the dragons and dragons.
So
dragons super effective against dragons.
So should I use for a fire grass type? Should I just use a grass type move or a fire type move?
No. Use a flying type
because it's weak against both.
Grass is weak to flying. Fire is weak to water. Just use flying moves, I guess. Because the thing is, because Scovillian, the reason why Scovillion's grass,
I already beat it.
Because he basically represents Capsicum Chili.
I already beat it because I just kept switching in different Pokemon.
Yeah, fair enough.
And my cat Pokemon, whatever it is, has Masquerade or whatever it is. Masquerade or something.
Yeah, that's the one.
Masquerada.
Yeah, Masquerade is correct.
Yeah, it's
got
a bug type
saying
move,
until we get it right. Actually,
it's got a bug type move, so I just use that.
It does U-turn. Oh, you gave U-turn. Nice.
Yeah, U-turn's fantastic.
I like it too. Yeah.
But I go through a bunch of effort, right, to evolve the Pikachu equivalent, Paul, whatever it is, into its evolved form.
Pawmo, yes. Pawmo.
Into its fully evolved form. And man, that was a pain because I looked up how to do it. I'm like, I got to do 1,000 steps with this thing out and then level it up.
Yeah, I know. It's annoying because the same thing with Bramble, and you got to do the same thing with him.
And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. If I want the Pokemon, I'd have to do it anyway. Because I was trying to make that my main electric type.
Oh yeah.
But every time it goes into battle, it's bloody useless. It can't do anything.
It's a weird one.
It's
electric fighting as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a fighting type that has like 2 fighting moves. But
has arm thrust.
Yeah. It's a real it seems like every Pokemon I've fought with it, even I put it up against the Gyarados that was around the same level.
Whatever it is.
And its electric type moves, like, it's super effective, but it barely did any damage to Gyarados.
Like 40, he does like 40 damage, yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, well, no, I gave it a strong move. It had a strong move. But every time I versed a Pokemon that was higher level, its speed was basically useless because it would never get to go first because I'm versing a higher level Pokemon, but it wouldn't be able to tank any of the moves used on it. So it would just get knocked out every time I versed something of higher level. So I ended up getting rid of it, getting a Magnemite that I'd gotten from a what do they call it? Where you said it earlier, where a whole bunch of them show up.
Mass outbreaks.
Yeah, outbreak. Yeah. So yeah, I found there was an outbreak of Magnemite, so I just ran around like defeating them with my grass type, getting like 1,000 XP for all of my Pokemon at once. It was great.
Cool.
And
Hey,
and I caught one and then evolved it.
Can we wrap up? Troy.
Yeah.
Troy, can we wrap?
Sure. I was actually going to say it's been just over an hour. Yeah, I'm losing you. We can wrap up, Jackson. You're running out of reception.
Let's
You still there?
wrap it up there,
Yeah, give your outro. I'm done. I'm finished.
Troy.
I'm finished.
I'm getting fucking the dodge is running out of server.
Goodbye, Jackson. I gotta type.
It's a good thing might drop out. Okay, cool. Yeah. So,
wrap up.
Okay.
End. We go.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm finished.
Alright.
Done.
Follow our socials. Bye. I'm done.